Mm.
Well, one thing we were just talking about is good morning. This is the morning show with Dr. Butterfly, H2O with Dr. Butterfly, the relationship specialist.
All right. And first off, we'd like to thank everybody who came out yesterday to Dr. Butterfly's dance competition. I like to just say thank you for everybody who came out. It was shorthanded. It was raining and stuff going on. It was raining and stuff. So, and we didn't do a whole great job of promoting that event. But the people that came, they had a great time. People that competed. We had what's the two-step guy name?
Oh, Albert.
We had Albert.
Albert is always showing up for us. He shows up for everybody, really.
Yep, he does.
Even if he don't want to do something, he do it. Get in there.
And I'm going to give him the Just Dance Award certificate for always being there for everybody.
Yes.
So I will create that short. But thank you, Albert, for continuing to always be there for everybody. You are a true gentleman. We also had Nike and Sandy there. They won the walking competition. It was
that was a nice
it was a pure joy to watch. If I put it on my Facebook page, incredible. Nike, incredible dancer.
And then it's the lady Stella.
And Stella.
Yeah. But it was still cool because you know what? We're gonna do it whether it's a few people in there. If we do a contest and it's only one couple, we're gonna let them showcase.
They're gonna win the prize.
Yeah, if we got a prize. If we're giving out a prize, we're still gonna give it out.
Right. We did give out a prize, cash prize yesterday. To both of them people. Thank y'all. Thank you for winning the Houston two-step competition. And Nike, thank you for winning.
And so that's what we're doing. We're mixing them too, because people we're practicing for the ISDC and the prelims.
Right. So if you want to practice for the ISDC, come out Wednesday. You want to practice for the world's largest, come out Wednesday. ISDC.
Or the prelims.
Prelim is in another month. And I mean, if they make it past prelims, you're going straight to the world's largest. So you want to practice for either one of those.
They have another month.
Come out on Wednesday and you get the floor. And you will be able to feel and knock some of these nerves off, because trust me, once you hit that floor and you have not done it, if you practice competition, if you practice routine, if you practice routine, that is out the window. You forget.
Well, not for everybody. I mean, some people do that and they're still.
If they do it for years and years, and then.
But some people it works for. We just don't like it, but that ain't necessarily out the window. It don't work for everybody.
A lot of
times, people do maybe have it.
A lot of times you forget it. Like I remember my first competition I had with one of the people. We worked in a routine for about a good week.
Yeah, that's a week, but some people been working a whole year.
We worked on it a couple months.
Oh, okay. But some people work from 1 year to the next year.
And we had privates on it and everything like that.
All right.
So as soon as I did it and I hit the stage, that stuff went out the window. And I forgot about it.
So some people might remember their routine, because some people work on that stuff for a whole year.
Right.
But they said that once the competition goes this year, you start working immediately afterwards.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mine was not the world's largest stage. Mine was ISDC.
Right. So they work the whole year. So they may remember. You know what I'm saying? Because it's 3 minutes. But I feel like, I mean, it may look a little, what's the word? It may look not like you're really into it if you really seriously have a routine or something. Right. It maybe not. I mean, I haven't got to the world's largest, so I don't really know. I'm getting that from other people. I kind of think people make up just moves, and then they put them together where they go. I don't think they have a routine, but they have moves, and then as they go, they put those moves together. When I was watching Nike, that's what I feel like. I could tell that they have moves.
Right.
But then they may not have a routine, but I could tell that those are moves that they have perfected.
Absolutely.
And then they put those moves together within their routine, within their dance. So that's cool.
Yep.
Put the people, show people you can walk and then add the little extra in there. So I think like with the routines, where they do it, they make sure they display the dance that hey, we know how to do this, and then add a little bit, add their style to it. We know the foundation, show that because they just walk for a minute and then add the spice in there. That's what it looked like. So I wish I had another person on here to interview. I ain't try to call Nike this morning because when I told him 8 to 9 a.m., he was like, no, nobody get up there early.
For real, nobody does get up this early. I know.
Sandy might get up that early.
And that's why I truly want to thank our viewers for watching us on all platforms because
I'm about to text him and see.
Because nobody really gets up this early, for real. It's true, What jamming the thing. So the viewers are up and then we do have follow us and then even later on throughout the day after the live is already recorded and done. Thank y'all for following up and watching us and commenting on us.
Yeah, I'm still asking him what's a good time for an interview. I can maybe call Baraki on the phone.
He's right.
He might get up this early, but how can I get him on their voice on the thing?
Because we just tell him we're going to send him a link.
Okay.
So go ahead and call your good buddy from Chicago.
We never interviewed Ernestine. She might be up, but I mean, she might be working today.
But she is. Why don't you text her too? We can text her too. She loves calling me right now.
I got Tori number on here.
Call
the girl Tori.
Yeah. Call Ernestine. She's probably up.
Okay, let me see.
And then we can just do it on voice interview. But don't have her on loud. Why don't you go another room first?
I mean, I ain't gonna have her on the thing
know.
before I ask her. What do you want me to ask her?
No, if you want to join her.
Why don't you ask her?
I'm using my phone, but I can if you
okay. Anyway, so thanks for coming out. That's our main emphasis right now is practicing and studying for that.
Hey, good morning.
I may have hired someone yesterday to get our from surviving to thriving group on the way. So hopefully I talked to this guy and he might be motivated to really do that. So to get the group going. So anyway, what I wanted to talk about today was grieving. Why do I want to talk about grieving? Man, most of my clients most people that's been coming to me, they come to me for one reason. A lot of times relationship stuff, and sometimes they come to me because they lost someone, like they lost their mom died. I mean, a lot of people our age, their mothers are passing away, or even sometimes their mother is still alive, but their mom has changed because maybe they have dementia. And so it's like when people have dementia, it's like you actually have a different person than the mom that you had during your whole lifetime.
Absolutely.
So they had that loss. And so what happened is their grief is so big that they're feeling it physical at that point. But what's happening is, and they think it's about like the person that they lost right now. They think it's about that. But really it's a compounding grief. So I wrote some stuff. I put some stuff in my Facebook about that the other day. It's a compounding grief. Meaning, go ahead.
Now there's different types of old timers. My mom got sundowns.
Oh, really? Are you sure about that? He said she got sundowns.
I'm sure about
they diagnosed her with
it? Yes. So she had sundowners. And one of the things, I come in the house one day and the sundowners is affecting her really bad. At times it does not. Sometimes it's really active. So we're in the house, all electric house, you can just tell Alexa to do anything, and she does it. Turn the heat, AC, unlock doors. She don't unlock doors because I put that feature not before I unlock the door. So I come up and say, Alexa, unlock this door and turn off the alarm. And I don't want that going on. However, so my Alexa, she does, everything. So I'll come home and she's in front of the oven and she is trying to warm her hands up. And I'm like, hey, are you okay? She had a spaceship in her room and she in her mind, she went back into the days where she had to do that. And I was like, wow, I'm like, okay.
When did that happen? A long, long time ago she was having that?
She does that from time to time, yeah.
She said she don't have no dementia. She had just seen the doctor.
She does that from time to time, absolutely. At the time, she was
because she didn't sound like she knew everybody's business and everything when we seen her.
Another time, she was chasing my ex-girlfriend around with a knife. She thought she was my dad's ex-girlfriend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's like, you're on. She's calling my dad's ex-girlfriend. And she was chasing her around with a knife. I was like, oh, it's not her.
Yeah,
for real.
Maybe she was mad at us about something else.
Nah.
She thought she was somebody else.
Yeah, she always refers me as my dad, refer to my son as me.
Oh, well, we all do that.
No. She's literally thinking
she was
literally thinking I'm my father, and my son was me.
What would she say to y'all?
Oh, all kind of references, like throughout the years, just like where her mind was be going off, and you can understand when that come in the room, when that come in the house, she started cussing me out, and I couldn't even understand it. I'm like, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
And it was that, so I had to. So yeah, it is like a different person that comes in. But in my situation, she was drifting in and out of it. So.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Because she seemed like when I seen her, like she knew everything. She knew everybody's business. She was on point. She was like the news.
Mm-hmm. A couple times.
Yeah, she was like every time we talked to her, she'd be like the news. But so anyway, they grieved that like either they lost their mom or they lost their mom in that kind of way. And so grief is a real big thing. So that is something that a lot of this stuff catches me up, and then I stop and I start really studying it more intensely. Because that's what I do, is help people to live their life better, hopefully in the now. That's the goal, to help people live better in the now. Good morning, Gloria. I should have brought, oh yeah, Gloria. Is that Kim, Mama Gloria? Trying to think. Good morning, Morris. D. Swing Allen. Because I could have brought her on about grief. We're trying to bring somebody on who wants to talk about grief, or who wants to talk about if they won in some contest. That big dude from Dallas. He was just talking on live about it. But anyway, and so let me read what I wrote about grief, because I wrote that the other day. Because some people don't know what grief really is. They be like, well, I'm not going through grief. That's because they don't know what grief actually is. There's a lot of examples of grief. I put some examples out there, so I'm looking for. So here it is. One of the biggest human ailments is grief. One that I've seen lately amongst Black people. And there's a difference in therapy. It's one thing about doing therapy with white people, and it's a whole nother thing about doing therapy with Black people, because Black people already we all have a underlying grief of, we love being Black, but as soon as we got on earth, we already had a problem. We had racism and all this, everything that stems from racism, maybe sexism. If you was dark-skinned, you may have had the thing where people, shunned you for being, if you was a dark-skinned Black woman, people may have shunned you for being dark. So we already had small griefs as we was born. Why do I have to face racism? Why couldn't I have life without facing racism? Why do I have to face the possibility of telling my kids about watch out for the police? I just wish that wasn't part of who I am. That's a small grief, or it could be a big grief for some people because some people can encounter a lot when it comes to racism. Because we in Houston, and I feel like we experience really low levels of racism. If we experience it, I don't really particularly experience it, but if we do experience it, it's usually not that big. Now, some people experience a lot of racism at their job still, but Houston is a very diverse city, and it's a lot of blacks here. So we experience, in my opinion, less racism than other places.
Right.
But I'm talking about Kansas. Oh my God, Kansas is so racist.
Oklahoma, Kansas, all the way. Yeah.
Arkansas, Kansas, you feel when you get there, you feel this thickness in the air. Like when you go places, you feel like people is just kind of staring at you, and they do be, or you just feel like people don't want you there, or whatever the case. Especially once Trump got in there, it's really racist. And Wichita, I mean, I didn't remember being I always remember it being really racist, especially the police messing with people. So, we're born with that. You do everything right, but it's already somebody trying to, lock you up, or people already think you're not a good person. You come in, people are already looking at you sideways, like you probably gonna try to rob them or something like that. Remember when people used to hold their purse close? Remember that people be holding their purse close, like the black man gonna rob, gonna steal their purse.
I remember what I used to do. I used to be hood, so I see a white older person walk near my car. I'll hurry up and lock it so they know I'm locking my car. Like
like you're doing it for them.
Like I'm,
like you scared they go.
Yeah. That was really crazy. I used to hurry lock my car.
Yeah.
And they'd be looking at me like laughing or whatever.
Like, oh, so you act like I'm gonna rob you?
Right. One white guy just kind of jumped in my car, like, playing along.
That's crazy to play along. Shit, somebody gonna shoot you. So I just said I help people daily through grief, which I do. It's just like it's been so big. When it is compounded, it shows up as fibromyalgia is one of them that I hear a lot. Inflammation in the body, different kind of I can never say that word right. Hydromotus, whatever that is. Spell it in my phone so I can see if I can get it out.
Good morning, BJ Swing Morris. Good morning, Gloria.
Ask him, do he want to come on and talk about competing, or do he know about competing?
Yeah, DJ Swing, he was up there in Las Vegas with us. He was in another few places with us. Hey, DJ Swing, what's up, dude? You want to come on and talk about competing or anything, or your DJ how you being able to gain momentum with your DJing stuff? Let me know. You have my number. You can text me if you like.
Here it is. Hashimoto's. I can know why I couldn't say that word right no more.
What is it?
Hashimoto's is a chronic autoimmune condition when the immune system attacks the thyroid gland, leading to inflammation, tissue damage, and usually underactive thyroid function. Hypothyroidism is the most common cause of that. That's what they say it is. It often causes fatigue, weight gain, cold tolerance, and hair loss. But I feel like it is when I've seen it a lot of times, it was people who was under a whole lot of stress. And some of the stress they was from was work stress over a long period of time. It's not just like it's usually compounded stress and marital stress. And this is why a lot of people want to get married. And I'm like, don't quickly just try to get no partner. Don't jump into marriage. It ain't nothing wrong with marrying quickly if you have found the right person and y'all marrying for the right reasons, and y'all are being intentional, about your relationship and getting married. Y'all gonna do everything it takes to have a high quality, good marriage. Then there's nothing wrong with that. But there's something wrong with just being desperate for a partner and just taking whoever. There's something wrong with that, because then these people that have a lot of these sicknesses are in really bad marriages or relationships.
Right.
And over time, it gets them sick. So don't be jumping around trying to hurry up and get married. If you find a partner who you are really in sync with, and y'all get along and stuff like that, wonderful. But don't be trying to force marriage or force relationships, force somebody into a relationship, because you just forcing yourself into an early death because you're from stress and anxiety. So anyway, I just said inflammation in the body can be caused from stress. Somatic pain, meaning that you can just be hurting for no reason and they can't find a reason for it. A lot of times that's stress, pain like back pain, body pain, just pain all over. Headaches. Some people have a constant headache. They just won't go away, and it's from stress. Gastro problems. A lot of this stuff, once the doctor can't find out what's wrong with you, that's what it is. But a lot of times when you go to the doctor and they don't know what's wrong with you in the first place, what is one common question they ask you? Go ahead. What's common? Yes, because stress is held within your body. The question for myself right now, and as I'm working with my clients, is how can I help people deal with grief? And so I came up with my first step is to help them learn to recognize the voice of grief. Help them learn to recognize the voice of grief. What do you say, Herman? What do you think it means if I say help people learn how to recognize the voice of grief?
Help people recognize the voice of grief. What's up, twin? I seen y'all out there partying. Good morning to you, sir. Everybody, please share the live that's on. Look like y'all was having a good old time out there. Wherever y'all were, you said y'all was somewhere. You like you have a good old time, man. Oh, they call them skates.
Oh, that's what they call them.
Now, the voice of grief is.
What does it sound like? What kind of things do you think? Like if someone's grieving, what do you think is going through their head and it's happening in their thoughts? With their thoughts?
Man, that is tough. It could be multitude of things.
Okay.
Something for me would be like, what could I have changed? What could I have done to prevent an outcome and then blaming myself and blaming them, something like that. Other people may do hysterical calls. Some other people may do, calling the person. Depends on which grief we're talking about. If we're talking about a death grief, or we're talking about a divorce grief.
Right.
So it's many types of grief that.
That's a common one. The first thing you said though is that what could I have done different?
Right.
How could I have changed the outcome?
Now, if you're talking about like somebody's death, that's a totally different thing.
Right.
Sometimes there's nothing you can do in that situation. If we're talking about the marriage, there is a lot of things that you could have done, but once it's over. And the other, because it takes two people to get married. It takes two people to do the sacrifice. It's not going to just be one person. If it's just one person, then it's going to be a hellish battle. It's two people to sacrifice, and to put you equal in equivalent standard with the other person. One person can't do that. So a lot of times they're like, what could I have done? And early on, maybe we could have changed some things. Maybe the other person could have changed some things. I don't know. That's each case scenario, based on case by case scenario.
Right, but that's one with people married. They definitely have a lot of that. What if I would have did this different? What if I would have did this different? How could I have changed the outcome? That's what a lot of people get really stuck at. Other things that can happen to people. And that I've seen happen to people that came to me is they can feel real hot. Like you can feel real hot, like you burning inside. And then some other people can feel like they drowning. It's really weird how the body can respond to compounding stress or grief. How the body can respond to that is really weird. But yeah, they can feel like they're burning inside or drowning. But anyway, this is the reason to not to be rushing situations. That's what I want to tell people too, because a lot of people come to me, they want to be married so bad. But I'm like, rushing to just get married to anybody in any situation is not smart. if you in the right person and it happens easily, usually a good marriage is going to go together easily. If you got to pound it together and push it and pull and drag, like they say with that car thing, push, pull, or drag it together, it's probably not. It's probably not right. I'm just saying. When things are supposed to happen, it kind of like it just happens so simple in an easy way. Don't you think? Like with marriage, if it's supposed to happen, you shouldn't have to push, pull, and drag it together. If it's supposed to be and it's the right thing, it kind of just it feel right. If it don't feel right, it's probably not right. I'm just saying. If you feel like you got to force it, it's probably not something you should be doing.
Right.
Because you're gonna be forcing for a long time, and then that's gonna get very tiring. And something is not right if you have to force something. It's just not. Uh, so here goes some. Here's the voice of grief. Some examples. I should have done more. That's the main one. Just like you said, I could have changed the outcome. Something I could have did to change the outcome. Some people, it just doesn't feel real. When you in the highest level of stress, which we call the
Survival.
well, not even that. It's when you feel numb. I can't even think of.
You're in survival.
I was trying to think of.
You're in survival mode whenever you feel numb.
Right. I was trying to think of the
Clinical.
yeah, the clinical word for it. I can't think of the clinical word. But sometimes words won't come to me. I got the book right there. It doesn't matter.
Mhm.
I ain't even got to come up with the word when I got the book right in front of me. Written in the dorsal vagal. Yeah. Once I pick the book up, I can get to it. See, dorsal vagal. You in the dorsal vagal. The dorsal vagal is when you feel numb, disconnected, away. That's when a lot of people feel like they're drowning. That's the dorsal vagal. You feel like you're drowning. You feel like you're on fire. You just don't feel like yourself. That's when you are in the highest level of stress. When you just feel really disconnected. You feel like you're outside of your body. You can feel like you're watching yourself. You can be disassociating, that kind of thing. That's when you're really in the highest level of stress. By the time you get through forcing things and pushing, pulling them together, that's probably what's going to end up happening after you do that for so long. That's compounded stress. Next thing you know, you get there, you start feeling that. And a lot of people actually feel that. And so here it is. Why did this happen? Especially with a death of a person. That might be one. Why does this happen? A lot of times you'll just feel a longing. You'll just miss the person. Even through divorce or through death, you can just actually miss the person.
Right.
Especially if you was living with a person for a long time and then you not living with them, you can just, miss the situation even if it was bad. You could just miss it. I don't know why you would be missing torture, but people do. People even suffer when they was kidnapped. You know that? When people were kidnapped and they get out of it, do you know that they still suffer from the loss?
Yeah.
Ain't that crazy?
Yeah, a lot of times they talk about that in the early 2000s where a lady was kidnapped for 20 years when she came out. She really wanted to go back in because she was scared of, the world that she was in now.
Yeah.
She was so-called protected, but not really protected. But, if somebody goes on for their age without it, they may consider that somewhat protected. You don't have to work or whatever. I don't know. I never want to be in a situation like
that. For real.
Situation like that.
Oh, that's what it is, the flowers.
Oh. Okay.
But yeah. So another one is, why did this happen? Questioning God. Questioning God about it. Why did this have to happen to me? Why did it happen like this? Why did it happen like that? A lot of times, that's when they say, when you pray to God, just because it's delayed, doesn't mean it's going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's just that a lot of times God don't give us what we ask for, because sometimes things we ask for is not what we really need. I'm just saying. Like sometimes we ask for crazy stuff. And then later on in life, you'll be thanking God that you did. Okay. that you didn't get what you prayed for. You'll be thanking God, thank you, Lord, for not giving me that. You would have kept me there for life. Man, I go through stressing for my whole life. No,
Right.
thank you. A lot of grief sounds like this is not what I planned for my life. A lot of people go through that, especially that. Can it go outside? Can you take it outside?
Oh,
Oh, a lot of people go through that at the ages of 39. I hear people coming a lot. Age of 49, when they're about to turn 50, they start tallying up their life. This is one big thing people come to counseling for. They start tallying up their life at 39, 49, 59. That this is not the way I plan on my life to turn out. You know, I plan on being financially stable. I plan on having $500,000 in the bank. I plan on being able to retire right now. I plan on having a good marriage. I plan on whatever it is. And it's not, it didn't come true. And they get caught up with that. And some people even get caught up with that as far all the way to a point where they want to commit suicide, literally. And so that's what tripped me out about men and women wanting to be in a relationship is that some men want to be in a relationship so bad that, or married so bad that they don't even want to be here if they don't get a partner. But then there's so many women out here who are single and, and they feel like that. So I'm like, why aren't these people meeting each other? These people who want to be in a relationship so bad, why aren't they connecting with each other? I'm not sure why. I could ask this guy that he want to come on the show this morning.
Maybe it's almost.
Yeah, I know.
So we're having interviews for tomorrow.
Yeah, we're gonna have interviews for tomorrow. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad I figured out what it was. So
Right.
anyway, constant replaying of memories, or what if is the most what if is the biggest voice of grief problem? What if this would happen? What if I change this? What if I? So constant replaying of memories, or what if scenarios. But constantly replaying of times you did wrong, times you could have done better, mistakes you made throughout over time. Constantly replaying that. Difficulty concentrating or making decisions. That could be one. You could just be so stuck in replaying those memories that you can't focus or concentrate on nothing else. Did that ever happen to you?
Yeah.
Now, do you go through it sometimes?
Yeah, no.
What do you be playing memories of?
Stuff that happened back in the day.
Like what? All back childhood?
All through my life.
Well, that's part of PTSD. That's part of what PTSD is. If you were to change they call it post-traumatic stress disorder. I mean, everybody has it where they replay memories. But one thing about you, you really don't. Well, you might be stuck in your head, but you don't be out loud stuck in the past. But I would start PTSD with that past. Yeah, because
past and oaths.
Yeah, past, like kind of stuck in past memories.
Yeah,
that's kind of what it is. That's what PTSD is. Stuck in past memories, reliving the past. Stuck in what if? What if I did this different? What if I did this different? I told him that he got OCD, about PTSD, but OCD want to control everything. But
OCD is overly cleaning.
No, it ain't just cleaning. It's just being compulsive about things. It can be compulsively controlling too. It ain't have nothing to do with cleaning. Some people it's OCD and they real dirty. It has to do with just compulsive about certain compulsions. Some people can have to do something 3 times. Every time they do something, they got to lock the door 3 times.
Right.
They have a compulsion with that. They have to do everything 3 times. Like they have to say something 3 times.
Well, Tesla, he's before he entered the building, he's walking around the building 7 times and going.
Oh, okay. So some people got to do that. Like they got to say everything they say. They got to say it 3 times. Can you imagine it? If you will go out to your door, you got to go out 3 times before you can stay. Like your little room out there.
Mm-hmm.
Some people would have to go out 3 times before they stay.
Oh.
Their whole thing is something bad is going to happen. It's anxiety. Something bad. But that's how the Tesla man was. He had to do it 7 times.
I don't know why for some reason. I don't know.
What is OCD? That's what OCD is. They have compulsions of doing things, but it can be compulsion about anything.
Right.
It doesn't have to just be something that they do over and over, or they don't have to stack all the towels. Some people, of course, do that, where they have to stack all the towels a certain way. That's what people know, but it could be many things that they're obsessed with. It's stuck in really bad jealousy. Some people can be obsessed in that way. Obsessed jealousy. Like some people can like be so obsessed with you not being with them, not want to be with them, that they can be always trying to prove that you want somebody else. Some people be obsessed like that, and it be OCD still. So constant replaying of memories, what if scenarios, difficulty concentrating or making decisions. That's a big one. They have really difficulty making concentrating. Emotional grief, a deep sadness or waves of crying. That's one too. And it's okay to cry sometimes. Sometimes you actually need to just cry. And don't cry for a whole day. You can cry for like 30 minutes because after that your blood pressure probably gonna be real high. And old people like us can't afford to be just sitting up crying and having your blood pressure at 200.
Right.
You end up having a stroke. So you can give yourself 5 minutes to cry, maybe 10. And after that, you have to stop and check your blood pressure, probably check your heart rate. It's probably going to be through the roof.
Yeah, it would.
Right. And sometimes in those situations, when people are that stressed, matter of fact, I'm going to tell my clients that when they're that stressed, they probably need medication. Can you say hi to the people on and do a commercial?
That's what I was looking at right
I see some people on mine too.
here. That's why I'm on here right now.
Good morning, y'all.
Kim Davis, good morning to you. I don't have any comments though on that one. Over to you though. No, I'm only reading Facebook comments, so if you're on YouTube or any other platform you're on, sorry, I'm not able to get to your comments. Epic experience, spring fling. Yeah, that's what you're explaining for playing epic experience. Just went talking about where he was with the weekend. Did you see him dancing?
I seen somebody. I seen that one girl, Cassandra.
He must have not been on Facebook.
Oh yeah, well. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. Good morning, Kim Davis. You said that, and okay.
Now,
okay, go ahead.
What else are we looking at?
Well, you're supposed to do a commercial. You can do a commercial for
for our
Wednesday, second Sunday, or
Artie Johnson. I'll post it on our page. Artie Johnson. She's having our line dance segment of the Jets Dance Entertainment. That would be Wednesday between 7 and 8, 7 and 8:30, 9ish. Then we're gonna go over to our open floor. If anybody likes to practice your moves, go ahead and come out there, and you can work on ideas.
ISDC.
And our World Arts preliminaries. We're gonna come out there and just work on that while we're getting ramped up for that. All these major competitions coming up. They also have a soiree in Dallas. If you're going to that, come on out and work on it. We're there. We'll help you out. We'll look at you. Everybody else will look at you. We'll give you standing ovations, clap. If somebody don't think you're doing something wrong,
you got to have a whole partner there. Oh, you said that, huh? So the soiree.
For the soiree, I think he's doing Jack and Jill and also a couples strictly. So yeah, so you can do either one of those. But come out, bring your partner, come by yourself. I also encourage you to find a partner, bring them out, and say at least let's go try it. Because if you're gonna try it, they're probably gonna enjoy it and want to do it again. If I have a few people in Dallas that needs a partner, if anybody wants to do the world's largest preliminaries, and you need a partner, hit me up.
Yes, let us know, because there are ladies who want to do it, right?
Yeah, I have ladies that want to do it. I don't have any men that could be upset. I'm fine looking for a partner. Man looking for a partner, generally can get one. But hey, if you're one of those guys that hey, I want to try this out, and you want a professional, I have a professional that will dance with you, and probably go shop, but probably get possibly a win. This person, they've been winning stepping competitions, ballroom competitions, swing out competitions. So they are a true professional, and they want to find somebody they can compete with. That's on a nice level, so y'all can go out here and compete at the world's largest out there in Chicago. What's next on it?
Okay. So you said Wednesday and the prelims. Okay, that was
Our prelims are July 31st through August 2nd here in Houston, Texas. Come out and you're gonna have a fantastic time. Trust me, we have 5 parties for $100 free sale. You got a Friday party, you have 3 Saturday parties, and you have a Sunday going away brunch. All the major parties will have food served there as well. So the Friday night party, the prelims, and also the going away brunch. So come on out, and you have a great time. I can tell you that 100%.
Okay. All right. So that's our commercials. So anyway, what I was talking about is grief and just what does it sound like? Like, because some people don't know what it is. Some people don't know that that is grief. So at least if you can know what you have, like say, like if you have a problem and like at least when you start knowing what it is, maybe it could help you to know what it is. And so that's what it kind of sounds like. It's kind of been stuck in this woulda, coulda, shoulda. Wish I would have did this way. Wish I would have did it that way. What would you say to a person who was stuck in the woulda, coulda, shoulda? What are some things you would say?
Well,
And I did put a journal on there on Facebook, y'all. Print it out.
okay, you put a journal.
Yeah, I put a
Okay,
journal on
with this. Okay, I see some people on here that maybe it's up with that particular thing. Now, I wish I would have changed something. That is a real feeling. Don't ignore that. That's a real feeling. However, you gotta live in it now. If you can't change it right now, like 5 years ago, I cheated on my wife. You know, and you cannot change that moment. That's something that you cannot go back in time and change the moment to. The only thing you can do is move forward and work at it. And if she's willing to accept that, but she has to be willing to accept that. And whatever it takes, if it's worth going through, then go through it. If it's not, she's like, well, I'm gonna go out here and have sex with 5 dudes. You know, I'll be out first time. You know. So but if something like that would happen, can you take that? Are you willing to accept that? It's up to you. So yeah, that's the thing that you need to understand. You cannot go back and change your wrong. You have to start from the day that you realize and recognize that you did make that wrong and go on from that point there. And that is what I would say to any of my people, any of my family members that have done something they want to change. You can't change it. You got to start from there and move on from there. You recognize it, and move on. What do you say?
Well, I just say this clinically. This is kind of thing I say that I want to tell people is that first of all, like people want, like they say, hindsight is always 20/20. Like just because you have the knowledge now, don't mean you had the knowledge then. So of course you could have made a mistake in the past with that set of knowledge you had, and of course you know better. You may know better now, and so you feel like with the knowledge I have now, I wish I'd have made a different decision. But you probably didn't have that knowledge at that point, and so self-forgiveness. You should start every day with it, forgiving yourself first, because nobody else can forgive you for you. You have to do that. And so you're holding yourself accountable with the knowledge and awareness that you have now, not the version of who you were when you lived there. So you're trying to hold yourself accountable with what you know now at the end, and from after the outcome of what you should have done when you were in a situation. You're probably not even evaluating it correctly the entire situation. You're just evaluating pieces of it and thinking that you did wrong. But how do you know that wasn't the right thing that needed to happen? I just say I think that God gives us a gift, and that gift is that we can't go backwards. If you were to take that assessment and they say, if you could go backwards, if you could get $1 million going forward, pick the green one. And if you could just go backwards, if you could get nothing, but you could get a chance to go backwards, pick the blue one. A lot of people say they'll pick the blue one. That's already grief because you're grieving going back doing something. You can't go backwards and do nothing. That is a gift God gave us. It said all we can do is do now, live now, and go forward. We just really have now. That's all we for sure have. We don't even know we have.
Right. Or how much forward in the future that we have no idea.
Right. Today might be your last day on earth.
Right. So live every day like your last, because one day it will be true.
Right.
It will be your last day one day. So live every day like it's your last day. You see me, I'll be trying to live like it's my last day every day, because you never know when your last day is going to be. One thing that is definite, because Michael Jackson, he let us know this. You don't even have to be people like, all I gotta do is stay black and die. No, you don't. You can turn into a white woman. So, only thing that is certain is you will live and you will die.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that's certain. So live every day like it's your last, so that you won't have any regrets.
Right. And so you're holding yourself accountable with the knowledge and awareness you have now. This is what I wrote about it. With the knowledge and awareness you have now, not the version of you when you lived it, of you in that time. You thinking like you're holding yourself accountable with what you know now after the fact. You know, that's not who you didn't even have that knowledge. You didn't know how it was going to turn out. Back then you were making decisions with the tools, capacity, and emotional state and understanding you had at that time. Growth changes perspectives. Of course, when you grow, like where I am right now, and I've learned like what some of the consequences are to some behaviors, then I know I can make a better decision because I have a good understanding of, I can have self-forgiveness and a good understanding of, did that really make sense? That didn't really make sense to do it that way. These are some things I would change in the future. So back then you were making decisions with the tools, capacity, emotional state, and understanding you had at that time. Growth changes perspectives, but it can also create this pain illusion that you should have known better. And sometimes you didn't know better. And maybe you did know better, but in that time, that was the best decision that you could make.
Right.
And you just got to give yourself grace for that, for whatever, all the things you've been through, all the traumas of your past, all the background of African American people, with everything that you've had, with where you grew up at and your parents and everything, with everything you had, that was the decision you made. And you just got to have self-forgiveness for it. And to know that everything went the way it was supposed to. And now these are the tools that you have. What do you want to do today? What do you want to do now? What is your next best move? Your best thing that you can focus on is, what is my next best move? What do you say about that? The best thing you can focus on is, what is my next best move? It's just like a chess game. What is my next best move? Okay, regret often means your values are clear now, not that you failed them. And so just remember that. When you regret, it just means that your values and what you care about is more clear to you today than it was in that day. So you can regret something, like you can regret something you did in the past. It just means that you're closer to your values now. You remember what's really important to you now. You may have been in a state where you were so stressed out where you didn't even remember what's most important to you. But now you're back to being able to be your best self. And that's what your regret is about. Because some people ask me all the time, why is grief hanging around me so long? Why won't it leave? Why does it keep revisiting me? Because sometimes it need to keep revisiting you so that it can help you remember your values. Because what if you never did grieve?
Right.
You probably would just keep making the same dumb mistakes over and over again.
Right. So Yep. Just like if you never felt happiness, you wouldn't know what sad is.
Yeah.
Just like well, our favorite son, one of our favorite songs is happy and sad at the same time.
Oh, okay.
You know, who was that?
Who is
Sings
it?
that? The old Smokey Robinson. Yes. Happy and sad at the same time.
Well, that ain't
They
the
like.
they light the darkness. Yeah.
All right, y'all. Hey, love y'all. Hey, I was in with a prayer. Lord, please give everybody on this list listening, following us, and everybody in the world, give them what they need to make it through today, tomorrow, and forever. Please open their eyes and let them see the things that they need to see in their life and change what they need to change. You are the greatest of the great. Beautiful, the Alpha and Omega. Amen. Praise God. Thank you, Jesus. Love y'all. Peace.
Love y'all. Bye, y'all.